Hey guys, this is Vanity, Ezel, Banner Carpet Vanguard, Ezel and the Vanity Weekly Reviews. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Like, comment, subscribe, and subscribe. This time we are covering more reviews from the Coral set. I think the Coral set is slowly phasing out, and I say that simply because the last few days we've had 3 consistent reveals from set 6, so I'm assuming we're almost done with Coral stuff. First today we have Indomitable Rewinder Chrono, grade 3 200% right, 13k base. It's Chrono Sad grade, contains Vanguard or Rear Guard. It has the retry skills, when you use the order to activate retry abilities, that's what it's there for. Active Vanguard once per turn, CB1 draw a card, choose guard from hand, either call it to Rear Guard or discard it. So it literally has Leonor's effect copy and pasted. Okay, fair enough. Then auto Vanguard or Rear Guard when it attacks into anything, it gets 5,000 power for that battle. Then if it was retried this turn, so if you did play the order to restand, essentially, it gets another 5k for that battle. So it's a total of a 23k swinger on its second attack. It's an 18k swinger during its first attack. All around pretty solid that it gets the 5k regardless, and it gets the 5k, unlike the other side grades where they specifically had to be on Rear Guard for their power-ups to go off, or like basically would prefer to be on Rear Guard for the power-ups to go off. This one actually works for both Vanguard and Rear Guard, since I'm pretty sure the order can retry the Vanguard as well. So all around Chrono, not a very bad side grade at all. Honestly, this card is arguably worth 3/4, but it's pretty cool for that skill. Then we have 99.998% mission success rate Rewinder Goro. Great on boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Obviously got a Men in Black over here. Continuous if your Vanguard's either Rewinder or Koro. Gets all the following. Retry Vanguard or Rear Guard. Auto placed on Rear Guard circle if your Vanguard's either Rewinder or Koro. Soul charge 1. Then auto Rear Guard once per turn, version up. If you Persona Road or if you have 4 more cards in your damage zone, you may, when your unit in the same column as unit retries, Soul Boss 1 stand this unit. So essentially when you retry something, you get a column restand, which honestly isn't that bad. If this had a way to gain power, I would say this card would be amazing, but hey, free soul charge and essentially makes himself free is pretty solid, so I'm down for like the 3 of, if not a 4 of this, just because it is a good skill. I just prefer he gain power too. And then we have some set 6 cards, and that's what I mean by like we consistently got 3 set 6 cards each day. First up, we have Incarnation Wildmaster Ralph, grade 2 instead 5k shield, 10k base. So I think every glitter deck is getting this, which I think definitely means glitter's at its end, or at least the main glitter guys. Auto placed on Rear Guard circle from the hand. If your Vanguard's a glitter, check top 5, choose 1 glitter card from one reveal, put your hand, shuffle your deck. If you reveal a card, shuffle hand card soul. So cool, it's a free top 5 search, and you get a hand card. I don't remember if the glitter grade 2 for not the searcher for Roroa got the same Send to Soul skill. I think it did, but if it didn't, it's really cool that Ralph sends to Soul, because it definitely helps out the Chaos deck, because it gets you, the extra soul for a different card name, which is really nice to have. Following that, we have Steam Fighter and Hellgoal. So grade 2 intercept, 5k shield, 8k base. Auto Rear Guard, this attacks a grade 3 regarded unit, or Vanguard, Soul Boss 3, this unit gets 15,000 power for the battle. 23k swinger isn't bad. It'd be better if it didn't cost 3 Soul Blast, but hey, you know what? It's fine. It's not the worst in the world, not the best in the world. It's a 2/3 of tech. I mean, I gotta give it the 4 of bias because there's a moon in the background. That's as far as we go. Also, though, he looks really cool. He looks like he's having a blast with that skateboard, and I like that so much. Moving on, we have Rabbit Ear Dancer Aurora. Grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Auto Rear Guard and about this unit boosted. If you have 10 or more cards in your soul, put this unit to soul, choose an opponent's back for Rear Guard, murder it. Nice support card for Favreau, honestly. And I was just about to say, what decks are getting supported in set 8 for set 6 again? And yeah, I remember Favreau for it, because 10 or more cards in Soul, relatively easy to hit 10 or more in Favreau. Yeet this to Soul, murder an opponent's back or Rear Guard circle, then proc off Favreau's effect, which sends a hand card to Soul and draw a card. Honestly, not a bad grade 1 at all. Very good support card, and just very good support card in general for any deck that hit 10 or more cards, because it's a free Soul charge and a free back row kill, so easy 3 of, if not a 4 of, in like any deck that wants extra Soul and can get the 10 Soul easily. Moving on, we have Master of Affiliation, Rewinder Chanu, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Standard, if the Vanguard is a Rewinder Koro, gets the retry ability. Continues Guard Circle, gets 5,000 shield, so it's a 10k shield, which is great. And then Auto Rear Guard once per turn, Virgin up, if your damage zone is the 4 or more of your Persona Road. And then about this unit, either attack or boost, you may bounce back to hand. Okay, not a bad support card. It's a free bounce. It's a 10k shield. It is not horrible. Personally, out of the 2 grade 1s here, I do like Rewinder Goro more, but this isn't a bad one at all. So it's a worthy 3, if not a 4, of like a Rewinder deck. Though it's nice that he has better use outside of Chrono, because this one specifically is going to want Chrono thanks to this skill. I mean, the free soul charge is a free soul charge, but it's specifically going to want Chrono for this skill instead of just Koro. But this skill works out really well regardless of what deck you're using, which is nice. Moving on, we have Galactic B Hero Prompt Tafis. Most random time to put in Galactic B Heroes. I've noticed Bushy does that from time to time. Like, they've selected a handful of decks that will like always get support every few sets, and those decks will slowly become better. Like Magnolia and Galactic B Heroes. So to be fair, I feel like they did B Heroes because they were getting shit for B Heroes being bad in set 6, or basically not getting anything in set 6, and then getting skipped over until like set 9, and then proceeding to only get like 1 or 2 cards every single set. But you get what I mean by that point. Either way, low continues to Rear Guard Circle. If your order zone is 3 more base in, it gets 2,000 power, 5k shield. I don't. Okay, it's a 10k booster slash swinger with a 10k shield. It could be worse, but to be fair, considering the bases can always superior called this, it's not bad. So it's a 2/3. I want to go further than that though. Then we have Melton Merrily, Auto Rearguard. When this unit boosts it, you Energy Blast 3 at the same or the same time for cost of your unit's abilities. It gets 5,000 power for that battle, so great on the boost and 5k shield, 8k base. Okay, 13k. Out of all the cards so far that have procced off from Energy Blasting 3 or more so far, this is probably my least favorite. I forgot if every deck is getting one of these, like where it specifically gets 5k, because I'm immediately going to Folklore in my mind, which got you a free draw. But if all of them do have different ones, then this is my least favorite. But if all of them have the same one, then whatever I said for the other ones, probably 2/3 of it. Then we have Financer Taru Sabaki, Great Own Boost, 5k shield, 8k base. I immediately saw Star Ranger support when I saw that thing, because there's no way in hell a card of that youth doesn't look like a Star Ranger support, and it even says Youth Quick right here. Either way, act rear guard, shove it to soul, choose up to 2 order cards with the same name as each other, put one to bottom, put their other to hand, and then choose one of your units, and it gets 5,000 power for that turn. If you chose only one order from your drop zone, you must bot deck it, FYI. And then Auto Rearguard, when you play an order during your turn for Vanguards or Grade 3 or greater, gets 5,000 power for the turn. Cool. So if you use your Vanguard's ability to play your 2 orders twice, that means she's an 18k, which is great. She sent herself to Soul, so you get Soul for a deck that costs 2 Soul Blasts for at least one of its orders. I think both orders cost 2 Soul Blasts or something like that. So being able to get your Soul up is great, and again, recycle your orders is also really perfect. All around, not a bad grade 1 at all. Really good for the deck, and I think it's a nice 4 of. Then we have Dimensional Robo Die Trucker, grade 2 instead of 5k shield, 10k base, continuous rear guard. If all your units with Dimensional Robo and their card names in combat as it get boost. Could be worse, could be better, but I mean, it counts itself, so it's a 10k booster as well, so there you go. Following that, we have Super Dimensional Robo Die Wing, grade 3 to 9% at 13k base, auto and placed on rear guard circle from the hand of Vanguard's Dimensional Robo, Energy Blast 3 to 1 card in your soul with Dimensional Robo and its different card name from this unit, called to rear guard circle, then that turn yeet that unit back to soul, and then continues rear guard circle if your also has a base and you get 5,000 power, 5k shield, and if you have 3 or more bases, add 5,000 power at 5k shield. I still remember how DP has like synergy with the base deck from Heroes. So basically this thing worked, that wasn't even meant to be a pun, but basically this thing being a 10k shield, 23k beat stick in both decks, because both decks want to get out as much bases as fast as physically as possible, is really great. Even if this skill will never come in useful, now the B hero deck has an extra guard power in the form of this grade 3. So honestly, Die Wing, not a very bad support card at all. Works well for both decks, probably 2 of in B heroes if you really want the extra shield, and it's a 4 of in DP. Then we have Glory Maker, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. So we got 3 retrained grade 1s for the premium decks, or not premium decks, for the encounter decks. So Glory Maker is continuous Vanguard, only 1 clan. If your Vanguard's only 1 clan and your G zone has no cards in it, this unit gets all the following: auto drop zone. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard's placed, if you don't have a rear guard with the same card name as this unit, you may call this card to a back or rear guard circle, and then auto rear guard when this unit boosts. If your Vanguard's a grade 3 or greater, you may get one of the 2 abilities. Either your opponent cannot play blitz orders, which is great for the battle, or when your opponent cards from hand guard circle, then it's called 2 more at the same time for the battle. If you do at the end of that battle, retire this unit. So for free, simply by this unit boosting, regardless of who it's boosting, as long as your Vanguards are grade 3 or greater, regardless of what grade the opponent's at, you either lock out blitz orders, so F the PG blitz order, or you lock out their guard power, or at least force them to drop 2 cards at the same time. Glory Maker, not a bad grade 1. Very good support card. 3/4 of. And the only downside is you just can't have G units, which sadly goes for both of these. So none of these 3 are going to be useful in premium, which sucks because your skill is actually really fun. But I mean, hey, this thing is really good. So 4 of. Then we have Doreen the Thruster, finally, in my opinion, better brainwash, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. I will firmly stand by my statement on that. Continuous, if your Vanguard's only 1 clan and your G zone has no cards in it, gets the following: auto and placed on rear guard circle, soul charge 1 shield to 1 card from your drop zone, yeet it to soul. So essentially 2 free soul charges by being placed, which is great. And then auto, when your card is put into your soul by your card's ability, if your Vanguard's a grade 3 or greater, it gets plus 3k for the turn. For example, if you soul charge 2, it gets 6k. Now, don't get that idea wrong, because it does mention specifically soul charge 2, it gets 6k. Unlike Brainwash, who specifically only powers up by soul charging, this powers up by any card going into your soul from abilities. Say, for example, Barrow Magnus. This would proc Doreen, even though Barrow Magnus isn't technically a soul charge. So Keep that in mind. All around, very good. Again, the only downside is you can't use her with G-Zone cards, which sucks because I was so tempted to put her into my premium deck, and then I read the first skill. But hey, being able to Soul Charge 1, or technically Soul Charge 2 for free on plays, and then not to mention the fact she gets plus 3k every single time a card enters your soul, yeah, easy for Vanity deck that doesn't need G-Zone. Then we have Battle Sister Coca, Great on Boost, 5k shield, 8k base, continuous if your G-Zone has only one, if you only have one clan on Vanguard and G-Zone has no cards, and it gets the following. All of them placed on rearguard circle, yeet a hand, guard a soul, check the top 2, choose a card from among them, put it in your hand and put the rest on either top or bottom or into your soul, and then if your card was put into your soul by this effect, not counting the cost, it gets 5,000 power for the turn. Okay, so you either get to stack the top of your deck, you either send this card to bottom, or more likely than not, instead of sending it to bottom, you send it to soul, and then it continues rearguard guard circle if your opponent's Vanguards are great through greater. If your opponent's draft check or damage check reveals a trigger, this unit gets 10,000 shield and 10,000 power. Okay, not bad. It's a 15k shield and 18k base if your opponent doesn't flip a trigger. So in like deadly situations where you need that extra guard or you need that extra attack power, Coco can be like the deciding factor. The only issue is that I just don't like her having the skill because it's like a direct copy and paste of, you know, the supporting grade 3s like Sages and the other ones that had the exact same effect. You see, I give Doreen the benefit of the doubt here because Doreen existed a long time before Brainwash did, and she's just better Brainwash, more or less. It's still better version than those grade 3s, but you get what I'm trying to say here. I just don't like the fact that her ability's copying, and then Doreen, like, actually just a straight up upgrade over, you know, Brainwash, but is what is. Coco is fine. It's not a bad grade 1. It's a good 3 over 4. I just don't like how its skill feels like copy and pasted. Then we have Fleet-Footed Rewinder Akaba. Great turns at 5 Shield, 10k base. Continuous your Vanguards or Rewinder or Kokoro. It gets the following effects. Rearguard to Guard Circle, or sorry, Vanguard Guard Circle, Vanguard or Rearguard, retry, and then Auto Rearguard when this unit attacks a grade 3 or grade unit gets 5,000 power for that battle, and then Auto Rearguard once per turn version up. When this unit attacks to a grade 3 or grade unit gets 10,000 power for that turn. So sadly, that's a once per turn, but I mean, if you swing for the first battle, you either Persona or you have the 4 more damage. It's a 25k swing for the battle, and it's going to keep that 10k for the turn, so at least when you retry it and restand it, I mean, it's still going to keep that 25k swing. So, Akaba all around, not a very bad grade 2. The weird thing I love about the Chrono deck is because a lot of their version up skills, all of them are, you either Persona yes, or you're at 4 more damage. If your opponent plays an aggro deck, or you just opponent aggroes you and you want to take it all because you think you can honestly kill them before they get to grade 3 because maybe they got the first attack, you can just let them bring you to 4. Automatically, every version up skill is active, and then you beat the hell out of your opponent because most of them don't require a grade 3 or grade unit. Granted, this one doesn't greatly disproves my point, but you get my idea here. All around, not a very bad grade 2. It's a good 3 over 4 of. Then we have Light Scale Dragon, Confer Scale Dragon, grade 3, 10% or 13k base. This holier than thou dragon, which honestly deserves to have a Vanguard skill for that art alone, and again, gets the worst of the abilities. I hate it when Bushy does this. Auto retire from Rearguard Circle by your opponent's card ability, so boss 1 draw a card. I have grown to hate that skill more and more. Again, because they keep giving it to really cool looking cards that should have Vanguard skills, and if they didn't, because that's just how Bushy does D, it still would have been really cool to have an actual skill. I hate that skill even more because of a card we will get to in about a few minutes. Following that, we have Knight of Clear Knight Magai, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Auto when it boosts, if your Vanguards are grade 3 or greater, you may have these unit get 5,000 power for the battle. If you do it at the end of the battle, you hit to soul. Okay, 13k base, that swings us up to soul. Honestly, not a bad grade 1. I love the angel wings, I love the spear. Not much more to say about it. It's a good 3 over 4. Then we have Maleficent Dragon, grade 2, 10% or 18k base. Continuously cannot be read in normal call to a rearguard circle without a token on it. So specifically, it has to be normal called to a rearguard circle with a token on it. Or you just do what every Stoicheia deck does, yeet this into drop zone via ride deck, and then play Spiritual Body Condensation, yeet it right the hell back out, and it's a 23k body. So, yeah, there you go. That's how you play this card properly. Screw its effect. It's a 4 of. Then we have Seaquake Dragon, Current Burst Dragon, grade 3, 10% or 13k in base, aka immediate Maelstrom support for me. Auto Rearguard when it attacks into anything, Energy Blast 3, choose one of your Tier Dragon Vanguards, and both that and this unit get 5,000 power for the turn. So Maelstrom, who gives this thing the ability to attack twice, now has a 23k base because this thing's going to proc twice. Your Vanguard's going to be a 23k base. This thing's going to be a 23k base on its second swing. On its first swing is going to be an 18k base, and you're essentially just bullying down your opponent's Vanguard when increasing your Vanguard's power at the same time. Then imagine that Persona turns. That costs no CB, costs no soul, costs no hand card commitment. Easy 4 of. Easy 4 of. Then we have Diligence Fairy. Really random support card to be getting for Dragon Tree, but whatever. Great on boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Auto and put on guard circle if your Vanguard's if you have a Dragon Tree marker on your board. Until the battle, this unit gets auto when put on retire from guard circle. You may yeet it to soul, and then it gets 5,000 shield. So it's a 10k shield that can go to soul. It's a good support card. Don't get me wrong, but it feels so random for this to be a Dragon Tree support card. It would make sense for Solryron to get one because it's Solryron. It would make sense for Gandiva to get one because it's Gandiva and they're getting mass in this deck, the set. But randomly, Stoicheia gets it. I'm assuming it's for Magnolia Mask. It took me a second to remember Leonore Mask even exists because, to be fair with you, everyone remembers Magnolia, no one remembers Leonore when it comes to the mask. Following that, we have the reason why I specifically hate these skills. Fierce Attack Dragon, Petronajaris. Grade 3 to Nepros or 13k base, all and retire from rearguard by your opponent's card ability, Soul Boss 1, draw a card. Here's why I hate this. This set, Bushy had the ability to support, and every time they do a side set, Bushy had the ability to actually give consistent support to the promo grade 3s. They could have given them ride lines, or if they didn't give them ride lines, they could have given them more consistent support. Like Spinal Marquis, for example, with these Dino Dragons. Not only is this an Earth Dragon, and I'm pretty sure this is also an Earth Dragon, so they could have been Dino Dragons instead, but on top of that, Spinal Marquis has the ability to kill your own rear guards. Imagine if they just removed by your opponents. They just removed the word opponents, and it was just retire from rear guard by your card abilities. Soul Boss 1, draw a card. That would have worked in Spinal Marquis. Because that means you get 2 draws for 1 CB and a soul, you call a rear guard, you murder a column. This card was literally 1 word away from being so much better. And Bushy chose to not make that the case. Out of spite, I'm running this at full rub, just to prove a point. Then we have Jojo Dragon, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Really cool art for, honestly, a decent card. Auto rear guard once per turn when it boosts. If your opponent's vanguards are grade 3 Garda, and your opponent also has no rear guards, get tons of power for the battle. Again, would have been really cool if this was a support card for Spinal Marquis. But Gandiva is getting support this set. I honestly don't know what the hell this is supposed to support, but at least it's going to something that we know is getting supported this set. And, I mean, it's an 18k booster, so it's a 3 of, I guess, or a 4 of, just because. And now we have our final reveals for the day. First up, we have Sculpture Researcher Garamuk, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k or 10k shield, 5k base. Continuous hand, you may discard this card as a heal for the cost of calling a G-Guard. Auto and put on guard circle from the hand. You remove a heal from your hand or drop zone to discard the top card of your deck and perform one of the following based on the effect of the type of card is. If it's a normal unit, this unit gets 20,000 shield for the battle, and if it's a trigger unit, you can counterblast 1 and 2 of your vanguards and give 5,000 power for the turn. All around, it's decent. You know, it's a 30k shield if you flip over a normal unit. If it's a trigger, your vanguard is a 17k base, or, you know, an 18k base possibly for the turn, which is fine. But out of all the ones that give, like, the 5k base to vanguard, it definitely isn't one of the better ones, because a lot of them tend to combine the 20k shield value with the 5k shield power. And this one literally being a 50-50 split is not preferred. It's not bad, but I definitely want more than a 2 for this thing. Following that, we have Knight of Coalition Woden, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 10k shield, 5k base. Continuous hand, you may discard it for the cost of calling a heal, or you may discard it for the cost for calling a G-Guard as a heal. Auto and put on guard circle from the hand, remove a heal trigger from your hand or drop zone to check the top 2. Just a 1 unit card from bundle called to guard circle, and it gets continuous. When this unit will be retired from guard circle, it may move to an open rear guard circle instead of retiring, so you get a free superior call, and then discard the rest. If you called a grade to a greater card by C being 1, you choose from your vanguards, get 5,000 power for the turn. Okay. Not bad. It gets you a free rear guard that can superior call itself. You get a free guard unit, and then you possibly get an extra 5k to vanguard for the turn. This is how you do it. Again, there are better ones because a lot of them do end up having like less specifics. Like I think the Bermuda Triangle one was the best because I think it only required a unit of the same name, or maybe that was the Neo Nectar one. Either way, it's a very good card, and I'm definitely biased towards this because A, I'm pretty sure this is Gold Paladin, and B, it has the name Woden, which is one of my favorite cards from Battle Spirits, but hey, it's still a pretty good card nonetheless, so I'll give this one a 3 of. Then we have Sword Saint Knight Dragon Emperor Graham Grease Zieg. So grade 3 to inject Persona Ride, 13k base, contains Vanguard. Of course, your Persona Ride also increases the power of your backward units. Act Vanguard once per turn by soul blasting 1. Choose one of your backward rear guards, and it gets continuous rear guard. It can attack from the back row, and it gets 10,000 power. So literally OG Graham Grease's skill, but doesn't cost a CB, and it doesn't get you a draw until the end of your turn. And then if your opponent's Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater, Energy Blast 3, and then both this unit and that unit get a crit. So, simple Soul Blast, it doesn't cost a CB anymore, you don't get the draw out of it, so it's not going to deck you out as fast, and the unit behind it gets 10,000 for the turn, and then if you have an extra 3 energy lying around and the opponent's at grade 3, you now have 2 units on board with double critical, and if your Persona rolled that turn, oh god help your opponent. Following that, Auto Vanguard, had by your back or rear guard attacked, you can shove that unit to soul, and if you put it to soul, draw a card at the end of that turn. So, cool. You get to send something to soul and you don't draw a card immediately. So if you're in the position where drawing a card would actually deck you out, now you have that extra little bit of attack in there for you, so you don't end up losing to deck out. Grandgrace, or at least not immediately. Grandgrace Z, pretty good. This is honestly a direct upgrade. I love it when Bushy does this, like where like it's kind of like a genuine direct upgrade, where they kept the Persona Ride skill, they kept the draw skill, but changed it slightly, which is very important of how it works and it prevents you from decking out in a very specific order. And they actually upgrade his main skill. Honestly, pretty cool. Like I'll take like just straight up upgraded skills and then similar skills over just purely different skills altogether. Like this is really cool. So 4 of Grandgrace Zeeg, and then well obviously you replace the Ride deck Grandgrace with it because you honestly don't need it after this point. And then this one, which you kind of want to run OG Favrenio with, and that is Purgatory Great Emperor Favrenio Rheingold. Grade 3 to Persona Ride 13k base, continuous Vanguard. During your turn, if your opponent's Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater, and you have a copy of OG Favrenio and Soul, your entire front row gets 10,000 power and the unit gets a crit. So this thing does have Persona Ride. It does, and it does not have any restrictions on how many copies you can put in the main deck, but this thing, as long as you have this fucker in Soul, and a deck that can Soul charge like a hell, can get just a free Persona Ride to the entire board every single turn. Okay? And then Auto Vanguard, at the beginning of your main phase, choose a card from your drop zone, yeet it to Soul, and kill one of your opponent's rear guards. Okay? So, free Soul, so now your grade 3s are now PG fodder, and murder opponent's rear guards. And then the best part is you get to pick the which rear guards murder, not the opponent. And then Auto Vanguard, once per turn, at the end of the battle, this unit attacked, the sum of the dark grades, so dark states grade 3 and your soul's 13 or more, CB1 or put a Favrenio from your hand into your soul, including itself. Stay in this unit, it loses a drive for the turn. Okay, so it does lose drives, but I mean, get your free soul. And Auto Soul at the end of your turn, if your Vanguard is Purgatory, Dragon Deity Favrenio, ride this card as rest. So, essentially, you have a superior ride that granted can't Persona off the other one, but again, as long as the other one's in Soul, get a guaranteed 10k, and yeah, this is pretty good. The thing I love about this is that Grandgrace literally no longer needs the OG form, and frankly, it's kind of a nerf to run the OG form because they don't Persona off each other, and this card is just a straight up upgrade over the OG Grandgrace, outside of this not having a draw skill. But this one really wants the OG because it does the exact same restand skill, but it can superior ride itself from the other one, and it literally gives you a Persona Ride just by having it in Soul. Favrenio Rheingold's amazing. I love both of these, and I really can't wait to test them out, and I love how they kind of mirror each other, both of them getting extra crits. 4 of Rheingold, very solid grade 3, and without further ado, I'm going to end this one here. I hope all of you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the Discord, follow Twitch, and I'll see you all in the next one. Don't forget to set up your Vanguards.